What up, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of Storytime with Harlōw. Here I'm joined with Deja Rêve from Chicago, who's featured on the track called Regular ? But it's just regular? Give a little background of how we met. Before we even jump into the song, how the hell did we become friends?
So it's actually pretty crazy on how we met because I was super exhausted because I had just gotten done DJing and it was like 2 a.m. or something, and I just asked myself, like, should I go home? Should I just support some friends at Tao? And I ended up going to Tao in Chicago, met this buddy in the DJ booth, and history is all from there. Literally, he's been the biggest inspiration to me, inspiring me to be a 4D artist. It's just insane how we met. I believe it was fate.
Yeah, it's crazy. We weren't gonna go there either, actually.
That's crazy.
This happened only in February. We haven't been friends for more than a year.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you quality of time versus quantity of time, because I have friends I've been friends with since 3 years old that I'm not as close to as I am with Shinar over here, so it's cool.
It is cool because Merv has literally given me some insane knowledge that I would have never thought I would receive, and he's literally been in my life in such a short amount of time. It's insane.
So this is how the song started. I was at a coffee shop, per usual, because I find most of my inspiration just by looking at people. The song actually wasn't supposed to be a song. It was actually supposed to be a remix of this Grave song called I'm Fine. And I took the main lead vocal and put it into Ableton and then kind of worked backwards just to create some type of remix. So I started with like the piano that you hear, then basically used the same exact arrangement, and yeah. There you go, just kind of made the song. Like, I got feedback from other producers and they all told me, if you just replace the vocal, it's your own song, because everything was from scratch. I was really inspired to actually put out this song as an original because that's what a lot of my friends told me to do. It was gonna be a remix, which is kind of crazy. And then right after that, I worked on this a lot more at this lounge called Bush Flats Lounge in Chicago, which is right next to Foxtrot. I would tell Deja Rêve. I don't know, I always fuck it up.
It's alright.
Can you tell everyone on camera how to say it?
I'm not French, but all my French friends who told me how to actually pronounce it is Deja Rêve. Already dreamed, that's what it means.
Yeah, so we would work there sometimes, like pretty much the whole room, the whole lounge was like blue. So inevitably, during the making of the song, it felt a lot sadder than it should have been. Just because of the environment I was in. After that, I finished the whole entire like arrangement and beat and then sent it out to 17 or 19 different people that I knew, and I was just like, all right, cool, let's find a vocalist. And then I was chilling at his studio, Fort Knox Studios, and I played him this remix and he was like, what the fuck is that? And who's that singer? I was like, I don't know, it's just like some acapella or whatever that we put on. And he was like, dude, like, let me see if I can write something to it. I was like, all right, sweet. I've sent it to a lot of people, like, fuck it, go for it. And then a few days later, I get this text or email, I don't know. It was like a bunch of letters. I don't even know what he was saying. And then he calls me and he's like, hey, check your email right now. We have a hit. And I was like, okay, yeah, we have a hit. Easy as that. So I listened to the email. He sent me this demo and the first version was completely different than what we ended up with.
Yeah.
The first version does have the hook. He sent me this hook. I guess he can talk more about where that came from or how he was feeling when he wrote it. But it was like, high on your own is irregular, was repeated. We don't even remember the words.
Yeah, the demo was so different, honestly.
Yeah, but that was the thing that stuck in. And when, I guess on my end, when I received it, from everything else that I've received, it just didn't feel as good as what he put out. And I didn't even know he could sing. No one knows he could sing. I think this is his first track, right? Yeah. So I was shocked. And as a writer, as soon as that like hit my email box and I'm listening to like High on Your Own is Regular, I like immediately put on my notes and then did a prompt backwards. So that's how I do a lot of songwriting. So I have like a main idea. Shenard like sent me this cool concept and then just work backwards. The first time we quote unquote recorded was at his studio. It was late, it was like 12. I go to bed, I actually want to go to bed at like 10:15 every day. But in the music world, that's like hard to do because
you got people like me that stay up till 6 a.m.
I'm over here like, hey, I'm about to go to bed. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, come up to the studio or whatever. And I'm just like, fuck. All right.
Yeah.
But so I drove over there, unloaded all the equipment and stuff. We started recording, and Shinar has this. I've never really done this. I'm typically an artist where I just like write everything first, whereas Shinar is more of like a freestyler.
Yeah.
And it just, what is it? It just comes in your head. He hears voices too, so I'm not the only one in the industry that hears voices. I feel like
Facts.
we're actually maybe crazy, or we're actually legitimate artists, you know?
I mean, a lot of artists actually do it. Juice WRLD did it. R.I.P. Juice WRLD. You could even hear it in his song. I think it's Bandit. He'll literally mumble in the beginning, go, and that's just what I do. XXX Tentacion used to do it. I'll literally just like, melodies come to me so easily. It's just like a God-given gift that I'm so blessed with. But like, if someone says, yo, think of a melody in like 10 seconds, I'll be able to do it. Like, I heard the beat, put on headphones, and thought of the hook, just sang some stuff, the is regular, like, that just, it came to me so naturally, and then it fit, and it worked.
Yeah.
And I just want to point this out because we both have had people in our lives that told us, like, you can't sing, you're not gonna sing. Like,
Literally.
A lot of doubters, and it's just crazy because I've had, like, literally family members, old friends, like, say, like, you're gonna sing, like, that's crazy, like, you can't do that. I've had people tell me the craziest shit, and it's who I am today because of that, because if you let people control you and control your reality, you don't have the pen to your life anymore. You're not the author. That's just the way I think of it. Like,
it's facts.
I've literally had like old like friends and mentors tell me, oh, you're a wannabe artist because you're not doing this or you're not doing that enough. And like, in reality, I'm up 6 a.m. every day writing songs, singing, working on music, producing songs, being a DJ at the same time. Like, it's crazy. Like, people don't see the behind the scenes, and that's what a lot of people forget. But when it comes to stuff like this and the Storytime stuff, it's just like, now they can see the behind the scenes and get to know us better as artists, and shit's real. Like, 2020, no sob stories, you know? Literally.
Yeah, we're gonna clip that for sure. So going back to when we started to lay down the record, what happened was he started singing the hook again. That's all we had so far. And we were working on the same stuff for maybe like 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
And then that's when Shinar goes up to me. He's like, why don't you try whatever? And just like freestyle whatever. I don't do that often unless I'm like putting on like YouTube free rap beats and then just like freestyling for fun.
Yeah.
So I did this one like harmony or whatever that he liked. It was in my mind, it's just you and me. All the time, it's just you and me. And then he was like, he started freaking out.
I was like, yo.
That's how he got me to sing. And then I originally was not gonna be on this track at all. If you're collaborating with someone that believes in you just as much as you believe in them, that's what happens. Like, he pushed me as an artist. I'm very uncomfortable singing for the same reasons. But once you do it once, it's just like, fuck it, okay,
Yeah.
sweet. Like,
Literally.
let's see what else we could make, you know? All the comments, all the texts, everyone like hitting us up. I don't know if I could speak for him, but for me, it almost like gives me an extra boost to like do something new or do something uncomfortable that people were like, oh, you can't sing, you can't play guitar, you can't do this. Because that's all I've heard like majority of my life. But then we release a song, all of a sudden everyone's like, what the hell? I want to hear you sing more.
Yeah.
Never heard that. It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Literally. People don't know we sing.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
They do now. If you
They do now. If you
stream it, it's in the description box. We'll break down the lyrics for you guys. Here, I have my trusty Palm Pre. The song is supposed to be about a situation where you're like vulnerable, but angry at the same time. So after a lot of breakups, everyone almost feels the same exact way. You're mad at that person, so you almost like, your insecurity, your first thing to do is blame that person for what happened. What the fuck happened? Like, and then you're saying it's their fault, their fault, their fault. But then like, there's a point where it switches and then you feel like it's your fault and you're very, very vulnerable in saying that. So that's what we wanted to portray. After he sent the hook and stuff, we wanted to say that kind of like an intro cinematic type thing, saying like, is it regular? Like, no,
That's him singing
Yeah.
that part in the beginning, by the way.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think, yeah, the falsettos were me, and then, like, basically, all the good parts were Deja Rêve.
That's not true. That's not true. They were both great.
All right, so the first thing, we wanted to set the scene. Essentially, the first part of the lyrics were, love me so hard till your beast comes out. I'm faded, I'm spinning, I'm faded, I'm dizzy without your tongue. So I guess when we were thinking about that, we wanted to make it like flashback to a memory where it's like, love me so hard. Like when you're with a girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever you're dating, you kind of say these like sexy things while you're making love or like do, you know, whatever you do with your significant other. So basically we wanted to reiterate that message right off the get-go to just show like how close they were. You know, I'm faded, I'm spinning, I'm faded, I'm dizzy. Basically is like, goes back to, you know, somebody who's like either on like alcohol or drugs or whatever.
For me, when we were writing that, I can't like drink alcohol, I'm allergic. I don't do drugs, but like the whole concept behind the song is, for me personally, like I was dating a girl in LA who was, you know, not sober, and like she made me feel like I was faded and dizzy, like, and I was just craving her. You know, without your tongue.
A lot of the times, like I guess specifically when I write, I don't really do drugs at all either. It's just I really believe in like some type of method acting when you're songwriting. You put yourself in the situation where you imagine you're that person. So the lyrics come out as if you were like some type of like addict or whatever. Like you get this eerie, I don't know, we both felt it, cause like we were like goosebumps, we felt like weird while singing it. Like you could hear in the beginning, like my voice is slightly cracking because it seems like I'm crying, but like I was tearing up while we were recording. We both were.
Yeah, it was super emotional. It's crazy.
And then it just says, your love, I'm craving, come save me, I'm waiting, like what we were talking about. And then
the hook.
Yeah, the hook is high on your own is irregular. Is it regular, regular? Cry on your own, so you cut it up. Cut it up. High all alone, you ain't picking up. And then, no. I can't even sing it.
What came into my mind was when I would like FaceTime this woman and she would just like literally be in the bathtub with like a glass of wine next to her, a joint in her mouth, or it's just like, you know, it's just always high on your own, like in your own time. It's just like, is that all you do? Like, what are you doing to numb the pain? Why? Let me take that pain away from you. It's just, that's what I wanted to take.
Yeah. I think we also wrote it to be open-ended. A lot, we made sure to. So, like, high on your own is regular, you know, could mean anything. For me, I drank a ton. Like, I used to drink a ton, and it wasn't healthy. Like, the reason I felt like I drank was to forget about a lot. And so, the next line is, cry on your own, so you cut it up. Cut it up could mean, you know, anything for whoever. It could be, obviously everyone thinks about, like, cocaine or drugs or whatever, but for me, I remember there was a time where I was crying and I like took scissors and like cut up pictures of like my ex and I. Like, that's my definition of it. I'm sure Shinar has a different definition of it. Everyone has their own definition. High all alone, you ain't picking up. Just basically like it just shows the frustration for whoever's singing the song. Like you call, everyone's done this. You've called your ex and they're not picking up, so you're pissed.
You're pissed.
You're pissed.
You're heated.
Yeah. And so the next lines, so you just want to lay low, taking off your halo. Basically, after you're pissed that somebody didn't pick up, you imagine a scenario where they're like chilling on a couch, just looking at your calls. You know, everyone has this insecurity where they think that something's happening whether it's happening or not. Taking off your halo, we wanted to show that
nobody's perfect.
Yeah, no one's perfect, but a lot of the time, real world things is you put on a halo when you walk outside your door. You think you're the, you know, best person on the planet, you're some type of angel, but you're not. So like,
pretty faces can be evil too.
Yeah, exactly. And then so the anger comes out here where it says like, well, I'm on my way. What you said to my face, I cannot let go. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. So you think you're gonna save me now. I'm the only mother, you know, being let down. Oh, you just want to see me drown for your ass to just let me go. So basically it's like when somebody you know, let's say if the person answers a call, they're super nice to you or whatever after the breakup, or let's say any given situation, they're super nice to you, and then you're mad at that. You're basically mad at it. You're like, so you're gonna save me now? Like after we broke up or whatever? Yeah. I'm the only person. Like this is like straight up like anger and vulnerability. And then again, the insecurities come out where you just want to see me drown for your ass to just let me go. So you just basically want to make that person seem crazy, so you have a real reason to leave, because now the person's super hurt, and that's a good enough reason to leave for real, you know?
Facts.
Yeah. The breakdown where I'm singing, in my mind, it's just you and me. Well, first off, we didn't want a second verse. We want this to be like every word to hit. I'm a type of producer where I feel like minimal is like way better if you have a message to say.
Yes.
So you could repeat like 4 lines, but if they're really impactful, that's a really good song.
Facts. We kept saying less is more, less is more. And that's just how we came up with like simple lines that just people can always relate to.
Yep. Less is more. When we say, in my mind, it's just you and me, all the time, it's just you and me. Basically, that repeats because when you're high, that's all you're thinking about, like the good times. You almost float to good times even if you're in a relationship that's bad. And then the hook repeats, and then the second break where it says, so you think you're gonna lay low, or so you think I'm gonna lay low, putting on my halo. So you think I'm gonna fake it to the world that I'm okay. Ride the flakes through my face, I just cannot erase all that we've been through. So basically we wrote it like, we're trying everything, well, I guess not we, because we don't do drugs, but like whoever the subject is trying everything to not feel anything. Which that's why it's like, ride the flakes in my face, you can't erase it. Like you're frustrated because anything you're doing, whether it's like drinking alcohol, cocaine, or you know, some type of toxic addiction or something fucking bad.
Yeah, you just want to get numb, and that's when the second part comes in, is getting number in the face now. Change your number, I'ma flip it like your face down. That's a sexual metaphor right there. And then this was my favorite part that I thought of. I just told Miriv, like, yo, we gotta end the song with a fucking bang. And what spoke to me was, you'll leave me for another clown. I'm sorry that I never ever made you proud. And that was specifically towards, you know, an ex of mine that like left me for another clown.
Yeah. It just the way that we wrote it is just, we wanted to get real about how breakups happen in the real world, I guess. So I guess as an artist, what I could tell you guys, even other producers or other artists or other, you know, the audience members, for both of us, it's about creating an honest song.
Yeah.
Basically, at the end of the day, create an honest song. I think that will resonate with people. We're not fucking, it's not like Drake and The Weeknd sitting right here. We're making things for not only us, but for everyone else to relate to. And I think that's what you should take away from this song. Thanks for watching Harlōw Storytime, episode 3, with the one and only...
Hey, Deja Rêve.
You can find all of his handles right in the description box. If you guys want to follow my story and you want to follow my journey, please press subscribe. I have a hard time saying it. Please press subscribe, please. And hit the notification bell so you get the notification that a new video is coming out. I'm doing this every single week, releasing a song, Storytime with Harlōw. And yes, thank you so much for everything.
Peace.